Got vision and destiny. Add elemental, that's chemistry. All those heroes, that's infinity. It's endgame.
Yugi peoples, welcome to the commentary. Alright, so this one right here is I believe this is my last round of Swiss against Purrely, and my first place run using a build that was like extremely similar to Nathan Christmas's top 32 nationals deck list. Yeah, like I said, I just didn't have like all the cards in order to make the deck completely like his. So yeah, we used what we could, and I think just like the main changes were what is it? I didn't have the goals in matches, so I had to use summon limit, and I also didn't have the cherries or whichever one the one that lets you gain the life points when they special summon. I didn't have any copies of that, so I'd put Bale off in there, which ended up being like a horrible choice. I don't think I actually sided them in the whole time. But as you can see, I'm ended up playing against Purrely's here, against Purdy's. And it's not a going second build, I guess, because he decided to go first. As you can see, he's going to open up with Dark Purrely and the continuous spell card, so it just feels like he's pretty set here. He's going to be able to activate Purrely cards and start being able to do Purrely things. And unfortunately, I don't think I had I think like what's inside this deck, it's mostly like how do you say, board interactive cards, and not hand traps. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of sit here, watch him play solitary, watch him play Yu-Gi-Oh with itself for a little bit as he starts to activate and do Purrely things. I played against this deck, I want to say like 3 times total, and yeah, it just seemed like a pretty fair matchup. The deck didn't seem like all that overpowered or anything to me to where it just like puts you in an unwinnable situation, but I guess it also depends on how my opponent draws and the board that he's able to set up. But fortunately with this game, he wasn't able to set up just like anything completely broken. As you can see now, he's got the trap down there, and I believe he's got 2 of the draw cards, maybe 1. I'm not too sure, because I wasn't paying attention, and then I don't even know which one is which anyway, so yeah. But there goes the trap, and I'm not too sure if he's new with the deck, so I don't know if he did everything correctly or how it's supposed to be, but he was thinking quite a bit, trying to decide what to do. So for the most part, I would assume that he wasn't too comfortable with the deck, but he's going to summon out more of these little Purrely guys, and they're just all over the field now. He's gonna get that effect, get this other Purrely card. I probably actually need to read and learn and find out what these things do if I'm gonna be doing commentary. Oh, that was a field spell. It was a field spell. Sorry. But yeah, having the continuous spell and the field spell is really good, because I know one of them lets you draw, the other one lets you special summon from deck and stuff, and it just makes the deck kind of resilient and annoying to play against, and it's going to allow him to attach one during the end phase also. And just trying to find out what the trap does. And I think the coolest thing about this deck is being able to draw and then flip the trap and then draw some more. Just basically feels like it's cheating. But yeah, he's going to get the 1 draw. I guess it was the 2 draw, and then when he flips the trap to try to upgrade it, I'm going to go ahead and flip chain the Book of Moon to flip it face down, not only preventing the draws but also preventing the Nor from coming out to the board, because that definitely would have been giving him 5 materials, and we don't need that. So yeah, go ahead and put a stop to that, and we are going to start with a normal summon of Vion here to go ahead and get things rolling. I'm going to get a behind camera is what I really want to do, so that y'all can see my opening hand and see what my choices and such were as I started off. But he's going to go ahead and Ash there, And you know, that's our favorite thing to see as a hero player, because next is going to allow us to activate the free fusion destiny. So yeah, there goes Mally, there goes Denier, and we're about to have our boy DPE hit the board. And just like the only problem and issue here is like trying to decide whether I want to get rid of the field spell or whether I want to get rid of the continuous spell, because they're both like rather annoying when you start trying to do stuff against them. But we're going to go ahead and do some Mally plays here. We're going to link those two into our boy Cross Crusader, who needs to be upgraded to a holographic card at some point. And we're going to special summon out our Denier, use our Denier's effect to go ahead and put our Mally back on top of the deck. And I really feel like in this turn, like since he hasn't shown any interruptions and everything, I'm pretty sure they don't play Nib. So I feel pretty safe just like completely going off here. We didn't see actually, yeah, there goes the Droll right there. Kinda unfortunate seeing as how I added Ferris from my deck to my hand, but there was a reason why I went ahead and did it that way. We're going to go ahead and special summon out the Mally right there. And it was because I had already pretty much did my normal summon. So like in most situations, I really like to have searched for Stratos, but unfortunately we did not have Stratos there. And I'm trying to read and figure out how all this stuff works so that I don't end up triggering the wrong one. But I'm pretty sure y'all can tell, like, since I did add the Ferris here, what exactly I'm trying to do. We're going to attack over the Purrely monster here. We're going to activate the mass change because I don't want him grabbing the spells from his graveyard after I start attacking over and dealing stuff. So we're going to attack the other Purrely monster. It's going to get banished. We attack that with the Cross Crusader. Then we are going to go into this next one and trying to decide, like I said, which one I don't want to trigger or whatever. We're going to go ahead and pop it while it's face down. And all that stuff ends up getting banished. We're going to activate DPE's Effect Engrave. And we are going to go ahead and Dark Law attack directly. And yeah, I feel like at this point, you know, we pretty much have this game. His inboard for game one just wasn't all that powerful. Even though he had Ash and Droll, we actually like had a pretty good setup to be able to play around those two cards. Like, what was it? Yesterday I had like a crazy match where I still, like, you know, busted up my opponent's board playing through Imperm, Droll, Ash, and Varian, and it was just like nuts. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to record that video, but it was an amazing victory there. He's got the Book of Moon. He's going to Book of Moon the Dark Law, of course, because he doesn't want all his stuff getting banished. And then also on top of that, you know, if he goes to add a card from his deck to his hand, then it also, you know, banishes that card. So yeah, definitely want to get rid of the Dark Law. He's going to activate the continuous spell. I'm going to go ahead and chain DPE there. You know, just remember that continuous spells as well as field spells, when they activate an effect like that, they need to stay on the board in order to resolve, and you just go ahead and pop it with DPE, and that puts an end to that. So even though we didn't go first game one, we are able to go ahead and snatch that victory up against Purrely's right there. And now going into game two, I'm pretty sure that my opponent is going to decide to go first here. As y'all can see, I did get my my playmat, my Comic-Con playmat. I was looking for that like really hard, and yeah, I ended up not even having to pay like too much for it. You know, of course I expected to pay more than the $30, and then like right after I'd already paid for mine, then they announced it on the site to be sold, and I was like, well, seems like I should have waited instead of being so impatient. But you know, I thought that it was a good deal, and yeah, so I just went ahead and grabbed it up. And yeah, my opponent's going to go ahead and start off the same way this game as he did last game. And I think, like, considering like how long turns take inside of Yu-Gi-Oh now. I'm actually going to speed up the commentary on these. That way, you know, it's like a 15-minute video instead of a 20-minute video. I'll just have to learn how to talk and speak a little bit faster when it comes to the different plays and everything. But yeah, I really don't like it being like 20 minutes long, especially like when a lot of the times you're just watching your opponent do the same thing over and over. So yeah, he activates that card, then he's going to activate the effect of the Purrely to, you know, exceed summon using one from grave. And yeah, his turn, you know, this game just wasn't all that powerful, but whenever my opponent does do something like this, I always just assume that they have you know, good hand traps, in which like last game he did, you saw he had the Ash and the Droll, and he's going to go ahead and be able to draw 2 there, and no trap card this time. So now trying to decide how to play out my turn. There goes the Hero Lives into the Ash, of course. You know, he had Ash last game. I just automatically assumed that he did. We are going to be able to discard to special summon out our Ferris here, putting our increase into our spell and trap card zone. And I wish I could see like what card that was that I discarded, but I would assume it's not Shadow Mist. It's probably Denier, but yeah, I'm gonna get that behind the back cam for the POV view for y'all. But we're gonna activate Increase's effect, use Increase to go ahead and special summon out our boy Vion. You know, I think it would be cool if they gave us like other options, like you know, like what is it? When we activate our increase during our opponent's turn, you know, after their battle phase and stuff is over with, I would like for there to be a better option, you know, when we do have a monster out on the board, to be able to use increase effect and tribute out, you know, bring out a different vision hero, something that's like, you know, more effective than Vion when it's on my opponent's turn. Because, you know, Vion, we mostly use him for the adding of polymerization, and it would just be cool to get like a, you know, a different vision hero to bring out with him. You know, I think that would be cool. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and activate that Vion's effect. We're going to banish the Ferris to go ahead and add our polymerization from deck to hand. And yeah, once again, I'm just reading these cards just to make sure what they do, which one does what, just because I don't want to, you know, I really don't want to lose this game. Of course, I mean, like, whoever wants to lose. But we're going to go ahead and summon Stratos. We're going to activate his effect. And yeah, he was reading just to make sure. I got 2 heroes on the board, and, you know, letting him know that it does not target, and I get to destroy spells and traps equal to the number of heroes outside of himself. And that is like the old Shonen Jump one. So he was just like, he thought it was just elemental heroes, but it's actually just like heroes in general. And yeah, we're gonna activate Stratos' effect. He's going to go ahead and chain the Book of Moon here to flip my Vion face down. And so we'll only get 1 pop. We're going to go ahead and do the one that allows him to, I believe the continuous spell allows him to add the spells and traps from his deck, from his graveyard, I mean, his hand. We're going to go ahead and link off our remaining 2 monsters into Cross Crusader. And here comes the Bystial plays. Goes ahead and hits my goes ahead and hits my target with the Bystial Magnamut. We're gonna got that Fusion Destiny again. And yeah, you know I did like a tournament where I played without it, but you know, and just in most cases in general and stuff, it feels like it's better to have Fusion Destiny off in there. It's just like, it's a really good card. And you know, whenever I play Fusion Destiny, I always feel like I should also play Plasma. Even though I don't always like drawing that card, you know, it's still a really good card. So we're going to Fusion Destiny there. I do believe that we had to send the Denier and the Vanilla Neos because our Mally is already gone. Then we're going to go ahead and banish Mally to special summon Mally from our deck. And I really feel like, you know, at this point, you know, we have pretty good control of the game, even though I know that also, what's his name? If you see Magnamut, you're probably going to see Druid's Worm too. We're going to go ahead and special summon out our Plasma by tributing 3. and this will allow us to give the big suck to his Exceed monster, and this will allow him to trigger his field spell, which I do believe is the one that's going to allow him to special summon one of his Purrelys, which is completely fine because its effect will be negated by plasma, so I did not mind that at all. So yeah, the continuous spell allows him to add the quick play cards, or I don't know if it's just quick play, but it allows him to add like up to 3 of them. We're going to attack into the Magnemite here with DPE, then use plasma to attack into his Dark Purrely. And yeah, it's just like during the end phase, he's going to activate the Magnemite's effect. I'm going to also activate DPE's effect in the dance phase. Of course, there's Druid's Worm, like he's really good in outing plasma. I'm going to proceed to the end phase here. Well, we were already in end phase. Did I forget to activate DPE's effect? Maybe I did. Ooh, yeah, that's bad. Don't do that, y'all. I don't remember. I don't think I used DPE's effect. Definitely should have popped the field spell there. So yeah, that is a mistake on my behalf. And now my opponent's trying to decide what play to make. We know he's got the Druid's Worm. He's going to go ahead and banish out my other Denier to go ahead and bring out the the Druid's Worm. And he's trying to see what the attack decrease is on there, because he thought he was just going to be able to attack over my plasma, but he's going to go ahead and suicide the Druid's Worm into my plasma. He's going to take some damage here, but of course he just wants to get the effect. He's going to go ahead and get rid of the plasma, of course, so that he can get the effects of his Purrely monsters. He's going to go ahead and set and pass. We're going to use DPE's effect, go ahead and pop the set imperm, which was, completely fine, but it ended up being a setup in the end because he actually had another has another Bystial in his hand. And yeah, that was like, and the Denier is banished, both of the plasmas are banished, and now my DPE is banished. So yeah, getting triple Bystialed here. He's able to add the Druid's Worm back from the graveyard. And I think that's like another thing that's crazy about the Bystials, is that, the Magnemite can add from deck or grave, and it's like also just any dragon. So he's also got the second Ash there for my Rhoda. It's like, yeah, the hand traps that he had was just, it was everything that he needed to be successful. He had the Book of Moon, double Ash, and 4 Bystials total. Bystial like 4 times. Like, yeah, it's just really hard to come back from something like that. So yeah, of course we end up losing that game right there. And now going into game 3, I actually decided to let my opponent go ahead and go first. I think we had like 5 or 6 minutes left inside of the round, and I know that he has the one card, the continuous spell, where they have to pay 500 in order to look at those 3. And I was hoping that he wouldn't really think about it and that he would just go ahead and just do it. And yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I don't have the time side card off inside of here, so I think this game just my final round ended up being a draw. And yeah, he goes ahead, and I actually probably should not have drove there. I should have let him activate it, but I also figured at the same time that if I went ahead and drove, I could go ahead and immediately just end his turn. That way I could get a play in. He activates the continuous spell. Of course, he can't get the draw effect, but yeah, he's going to be able to exceed summon anyway here. And he's got 2 back rows, and it passes to my turn, but I don't think I'm really going to be able to do too much. We're going to go ahead and activate the Foolish Burial to send our Shadow Mist. We're going to get Shadow Mist effect here, and we're going to go ahead and grab the Vion. We're going to summon out the Vion, activate his effect to attempt to send a hero from deck to grave. And yeah, it just ends up, taking a bit too long. We're gonna go ahead and dump the Mally into the graveyard. Now he's trying to decide what he wants to go ahead and do here. He's going to Book of Moon the Vion. No mass change in response or anything like that. We're gonna go ahead and banish the Mally to special summon from deck. He's got the Ash again. He drew Ash every single game. We activate the triple talents thrust. We're gonna go ahead and add the fusion destiny. And yeah, unfortunately time got called at this point. And yeah, it just was what it was. And yeah, couldn't do too much of anything about it. And if I had the whatchamacallit, the Dystopia, we definitely would have burned him from game there. But also the hand trap that Nathan was playing inside of his side deck would have helped in that situation as well. But yeah, it's all good. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's what happens from time to time. Appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next video.
My wingman, he come through, he level up, he go cool, he shining out and popping too over 9K. That's a breakthrough. We on top now. Here's a look at our world.